Ugh. Ugh. Alright, so I left off yesterday. I got coffee being made this morning upstairs. I'm gonna go grab that. I did not sleep last night at all. I tried. I fought. I took melatonin. I self-soothed so that I would be relaxed. I did whatever I could to try and pass the fuck out last night. And sleep would not come. My brain would not shut off and settle. Maybe a little bit at the end there, but it's still, 5:30 in the morning. And I think when I finally laid down this last time, it was about 3:30 in the morning, and didn't sleep. I got confirmation that I did not get the job I was excited about last night. Like it came at 10 after midnight. The email, and I was awake. I saw it slide in, read it right away, and it's the fastest rejection I've ever gotten out of all the jobs that I've applied for. It was locked and loaded at midnight and ready to go through. So, yeah, I don't want to be suspicious, but it feels like I got turned down for it a little too fast. And it's really disappointing. It's really disappointing. I didn't want the job, but it seemed like something I could do, something I could handle, something that was going to pay well, something that, on the surface would have made them both, you would think would make the wife happy, but no. I mentioned it to her. I shouldn't have mentioned the job to her at all. I knew I should have kept that to myself. Sort of like, surprise. But no, and the fact that I kind of hinted at just a little bit of Lou, a little bit of aid, and then just got nothing but silence afterwards was just like the relationship. Just a perfect metaphor for the entire relationship. Where I have a chance to do what she supposedly wants, but that would mean surpassing her in some capacity, or asking for some type of help. And both of those are absolutely unforgivable. I mean, she told me I should look into doing programming or something if I could. Even if I don't like it, it doesn't matter. It's part of the reason I wound up applying that, and it just kept coming into my inbox. That same job, like multiple times. I haven't had a job come at me like that multiple times. So I applied. I felt confident. I was learning a new skill set, and yeah, and I was committed to learning the new skill set and figuring out what I needed to know without her help. So like I said, every time I fucking ask her for help, I mean, she does everything, but if I ask her for help, if I ask her for anything in particular, look, the look that she gives me, it's just this ice cold, contemptuous stare, and it's always been that way. And before, she's told me that she didn't want to help me with things because she was afraid of getting it wrong and me getting mad at her. Again, it's not me, it's her father, who was constantly ordering her mother around. and then getting mad at her for everything that she did. Everything, for breathing wrong, for shaking too much, for being too fat, too stupid, too slow, whatever. You know, he would just use whatever excuse to just heap insults on her. And I feel like when I ask my wife for help at all, that's who she's staring at. That's the vision that she has, is the man who bossed her mother around and belittled her and degraded her for it, which she did not deserve. She was a fantastic lady. And again, it's that straw man. It's that she's too tied to the family she grew up in and always has been to actually be a wife or to ever become an actual mother. Like she mentioned the other day, I ruined the home for her because she used to like to play house. And I used to accuse her of that all the time. Of fucking playing house. Not building a home. Not building a family. Not working together for our own house, but playing house, playing out her parents' roles. Instead of making something, building something that was actually ours. And I didn't want to fucking play house. You know, I wanted to build a home. I wanted to build a family. But we had totally different ideas of what partnership was. And she said she wanted a partner in a marriage. That's a duh. I told her I wanted a dog because she had been fighting me on getting a dog. She had been fighting me on everything that I fucking wanted, and a dog was, of course, one of those things too. So, like after we bought a house, I wanted to get a dog right away because we had a house. Why not? I had to wait 2 years more. I had to wait even more. I had to wait a ridiculous long time to get a dog. It was stupid. It was so stupid. And I got a great dog eventually. Great dog, Dermot. He was still love him, still miss him dearly. But yeah, that was a major issue with everything with her. Everything with her. If it was something that I wanted now, wait. Just wait. Just wait. We'll get it. Just wait. Wait to get a computer. Wait to get a dog. Let's wait to have kids. Let's wait. Just wait. Wait. And if it was something that I was actually like doing and I was engaged in, that I was committed to, it was, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Until I had no more fucking, I didn't even know what the fuck I wanted anymore. I wasn't sure. No, she kept repeating it until I had no surety left in me. Like I said, she took it all. I mean, it was a lot of dangling stuff out in front of me and questioning me and weakening my resolve. And now she can't be with someone like what she's turned me into. Like I seriously wore myself down to the point where I just wanted to be with my wife. That was it. Fine. Forget the dreams, forget the goals, forget everything else. Like marriage was tough. Getting married was difficult because as soon as I said I do, I felt like the doors of the entire world just shut. Like I gave up everything. I gave up the whole world, literally, just to be with her, and it was frustrating. It was really frustrating. I gave up all those opportunities, infinite amount of choices out there, and now that I feel like I'm out of options and I don't have my youth, I don't have the potential, I don't have the future that I once envisioned, now it feels like she's trying to pitch me off. And it's not fair. It's really not fair. It's any type of change that I try to make with her, any type of growth I try to have with her, it's not enough. It's not good enough. I gotta stop bitching about this, but I'm tired. I didn't sleep at all last night. Tossing and turning and anticipating and trying to sleep and just, yeah, dealing with so much anger. Because she's worried because she hasn't seen the angry side of me. But she's never meant to see the angry side of me. So I can't be mad at her. everyone else who's whispered in her ear, all the flying monkeys who have confirmed and supported her negative feedback of me. Maybe it's because they care. They're really concerned about her, but it's really, really frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. So I don't know what I'm going to do today. I need to grab coffee. I'm going to try writing. So I appreciate that consistency and being able to plug away at this, but not sleeping last night is rough. It's rough on my brain right now, and I'm actually feeling it on my heart. I don't know what that is. It's a little bit of a weird feeling, but it's kind of fucked up my plans for the day. I was going to do some other stuff. I kind of felt like I needed to, but without proper sleep, I don't know if that's safe. I'm going to get my coffee. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to write for an hour or two. Try to figure out where I'm going to go from there, but this hurts. This really, really hurts. Good morning, Inactive Void. How you doing? I'm sitting here just whining to myself about my life. So thanks for coming in and snapping me out of this funk. I did not sleep last night. Struggled with it all night. Chased sleep. Could not catch sleep. So now I'm sitting up to write and just dumping myself out on camera. So I'm going to be right back. I made coffee. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate you, dude. Yo, I'm back. See, yeah, I appreciate that. I was all excited last night. I applied for a job at the same company that my wife works at, and I only applied because it kept getting like pushed to my email inbox like a couple of times. Like, this company really wants you to fill out this app. And I was, oh, okay, cool. And it's for a data analyst position. I was actually at a higher level and a higher pay grade than my wife. And I mentioned it to her, and she pointed that out and said that she had the questions for the interview, which means this is a job that she's applied for multiple times. And she keeps on getting rejected because she does not have the degree. She's got the experience, she's got the know-how, she can absolutely do the job. But she's got a paper ceiling that she can't get past. So the fact that it came into my inbox for me to apply for, and that I actually have the degree for, and I started to like look at what the process is and the level of programming, and it's far beneath what I used to do for fun. So I was feeling pretty confident, and then the rejection came in at 12:10 last night. So I applied yesterday, and the rejection came in at midnight last night. I've never had a job be pushed at me so aggressively and then been rejected so fast. But I made the mistake of mentioning it to her and even asking for some help when she mentioned that she had the interview questions. And then I just got silence. And it brought up so much crap from the relationship, where when I ask her for simple help, something that she can easily provide, I get just that. I get silence, or the most evil fucking stare that I could ever possibly want from my wife whenever I actually ask for help. Yeah, sounds really fucking weird. The whole thing sounds sketchy as hell. So, Yeah, I know. Why would I want to save that marriage? It's because I believe we can work past it. I believe that her $200 damn sessions with her therapist will eventually lead to her making this discovery and fixing all of this. But yeah, it's all sketch as hell. I shouldn't have mentioned it to her. I should have. Maybe it would have helped my odds if I wouldn't have brought it up. But yeah, I was studying. I was going to spend the whole day studying today, trying to prepare for the interview, go to ChatGPT, figure out what type of questions I could possibly anticipate. And yeah, nothing. So, no sleep. Not sure how the writing session is going to go this morning. I figured I'd try it. Yeah. So anyways, see if I can catch the vibe that I need to produce something, anything. All right, I guess. I'll read out chapter 3. See how it sounds. That's all I need to get the momentum going. The air was still. Bodies, both human and demon, lay scattered in bloody heaps. Those who hadn't been transformed or slaughtered had fled up the stairs, screaming. Their shrill cries reverberated down the halls, then vanished. Now only a wretched silence remained, crawling into Jillian's ears, prying loose memories she'd long since locked away. Her mother's slow withering under the traitorous maid's care, Morrigan's dark elf diplomats whispering in the usurper's ear, and further back, buried in a memory she wasn't sure she should have, she saw herself as a baby, glowing with brilliant light in a darkened room. All these images rushed into her mind, setting her hands trembling. The silver knife, slick with the queen's blood, slipped loose and clattered to the floor, shattering the oppressive silence. Exposed, with no self-delusion left to shield her, Jillian felt her legs threaten to buckle beneath her. The Nephilim, high elf, or of something stranger, crouched low by the circle, watching it with sick bemusement. Jillian's inner unraveling seemed beneath his notice. He simply rocked back and forth, childlike in his anticipation. "Come on, you bastard," he whispered, voice thick and with a low growl. The air turned hot, suffocating, as the stone floor within the circle began to fall away, stone by stone, revealing a swirling, luminous blue font of magical energy. It spiraled like a hungry whirlpool, pulling at the surrounding chamber with ravenous force. Tapestries tore loose. Tables and silverware clattered into the void. Even the bodies of the fallen were dragged toward the vortex, consumed without ceremony. The elf's grin widened. Jillian finally collapsed, sinking into the inflated poofs of her dress, a crumpled pile of disbelief. And in exchange for all it devoured, the font breathed out a storm of sand, hot, stinging, and dry. In an instant, the ballroom's gilded luxury was stripped away and replaced by the grinding grit of a wind-blown desert. As the elf stood, the wind died, and the sand settled, as if the very air knew to bow before him. The circle stilled, smoothing into a surface like polished glass. From its center, something began to rise. Black flame coiled upward, twisting into a cocoon that cracked and split, revealing a figure stitched together from all it had devoured. Flesh, torn, compacted, contorted, mingled with stone, silver, and silk. Tables, finery, and corpses had fused into a single wretched monstrosity, a grotesque monument to excess. Jillian's stomach lurched. This was her intended suitor. The figure loomed over the elf, twice his height and still rising, the mass of stitched decadence and stolen flesh. But the ragged stranger didn't flinch. He only grinned wider, eyes gleaming with wicked delight. "I love these slapdash rituals," he chuckled. "You morons will cram anything together just to claw your way into this world." And that's where I left off yesterday. And I'm already almost out of coffee. My brain is still in a fog. Yeah. See, normally I do this writing session this early in the morning, so I will have slept. So my brain is in that subconscious space, you know? So I try to write before I have a chance to let the conscious mind and the negativity and the lizard brain and all the other parts that are not constructive and part of dreams. And it's really frustrating with the job thing because the reason why I wanted something that was a programming type job, and I talked to the wife about this, is I don't like programming, but I can do it. I sort of will program in my sleep, so I can come up with a problem, you know, something that I want to code and work on it all day long and feel like I suck at it and I'm failing and I'm not making any progress on it at all, and try different things and check different community chat boards and such, and then I sleep hard after working on something like that all day and failing and feeling miserable about it. And then I will wake up and just boom, and in my sleep I will have dreamed the answer, pop it in less than 30 seconds. It always works. Immediately come up with a new problem and then repeat the whole previous day. And I've talked with programmers who've confirmed, like, yeah, that's how we spend every day. That's every day of our lives. And this is like one of her brothers who programs professionally, and another dude I used to work with at Fleet Farm who went on to work for the Pentagon. Agreed that this is what programming was like. So I thought I could manage this job as difficult and as high end and paying as it was, just with that knowledge that whatever issue I'm having, I can solve in my sleep. And then today, I don't sleep, so I don't have the solutions for this to do the stuff that I actually want to do. It's a tough irony. Like, I almost smoked last night. I'm proud of myself for not smoking. I was very, very close to consuming marijuana to try and fall asleep. Oh man, no, it's all good. I understand. So, are you playing the new stuff? Like the new, I saw they added houses and stuff, and there's the whole zone. Like, I started to play. I was paying for months. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So you're playing the new WoW stuff, or are you doing like the Ascension stuff? Okay. Rock on. Okay, chapter 3 is excellent, evocative, cinematic, and thematically rich. Here's a detailed review to help you tighten and elevate it further. Tone and atmosphere, you created a vivid transition from chaos to eerie stillness, which mirrors Jillian's inner collapse. The silence, the memories, the setting all interweave beautifully. The ballroom's transformation into a desert via sandstorm born of sacrifice is poetic and hellish, a powerful metaphor for destruction and rebirth. Jillian's unraveling feels earned and intimate. Her reaction is not melodramatic, it's fractured, and you allow her to crumble. The elf, Nephilim, remains mysterious, almost playful in a cruel way. His childlike anticipation in the face of horror is chilling. The summoned being is stunningly grotesque, not just a monster, but a symbol of excess, of everything consumed. The stitched decadence phrase is perfection. It captures the ritual's cost, spiritual, physical, political, in one unforgettable image. Suggestions for refinement. Here are some edits that could further tighten the prose and emphasize key beats. The silver knife. Slick with the queen's blood, slipped loose and clattered to the floor, shattering the oppressive silence. Silver knife, slipped with the queen's blood, slipped in grass, clattered to the floor, shattering the silence like glass. No, because I already used a glass metaphor with the pool. What are you talking about? Why? You mirror the sound more viscerally with like glass, and the phrase from her grasp keeps the focus on Jillian's agency or lack thereof. Exposed with no self-delusion left shoulder, Jillian felt her legs threaten to buckle beneath her. Stripped of all delusion, Jillian felt her legs buckle beneath the weight of truth. More concise, and it ties in metaphorically with the stripping of the room's luxury later. Um, Highlight suggestion for the suitor's reveal. Suppose that works. From its center, something began to rise. Its breath whistled through hollow silver goblets lodged in its ribcage. Eyes blinked from where velvet had melted into skin. Something deep inside it laughed. That would deepen the body horror and make the suitor more uncanny. And those could be the lines that I need. Yeah, expanding just a few lines more on how it moves or breathes, something that makes the stitched together decadence feel unnaturally alive, for example. Yeah, now I remember where I was going. Okay. Its breath whistled through hollow silver goblets lodged in its ribcage. Eyes blinked from where velvet had melted into skin. Something deep inside it laughed. Hmm. Chapter 3 is cinematic, poetic, and horrifying in all the right ways. You constructed something with spiritual weight and narrative tension, a fantastic midpoint or major turn in your story. With light tightening, this chapter could anchor the heart of your book. Would you like a title for this chapter that reflects its tone and can suggest a few based on its imagery and significance? Nah. Don't worry about titles just yet. Not worrying about titles is kind of what the first two chapters is about. Hmm. I like its breath whistled, but through hollow silver goblets lodged in its ribcage. Don't love this sentence, but I don't hate it either. Its breath whistled through hollow silver goblets. Eyes blinked where velvet had melted into skin. Yeah, something deep inside it laughed. Something deep inside it laughed. Something deep inside it. Spoke. Something deep inside it stirred the machination to life. And laughed. Watched the creature bent and ugly, reaching for her with some sick delight. Features. The creatures. Creatures happy hunger. The creatures impish joy. The creatures. What is it? What is it? What is it? Creatures. Dastardly desires. No, creatures. Wanton want. No. Creatures. The creatures. I guess toward creatures. I just use creature there, so I'm not using creature. Creature. No, it's the wicked, wanting expression. That's right. I got ChatGPT. I don't know how to write good. I just got to write. All right. This is some slapdash bullshit. Let's see. Just like the whole ritual I just mentioned. Let's see if I can't. Nope. Gasoline is doing a lot of great things. Here's a review and suggestions to keep the tone razor sharp. It's working the transition from despair to the creature's grotesque reach, keeps the emotional tension high, chilling association, exhausting cloudy days, manages the trauma of the moment without making her passive. She's overwhelmed, but still watching, processing. The expression shift on the monsters gives it personality. It's not just a brute, it wants something. The Elf's interjection cuts through the horror with eerie familiarity, turning this demonic event into something strangely casual. It's unsettling in a great way. It suggests refinement to tighten rhythm, maintain dread, and clarify the beats. His laughter echoed in dull, oppressive waves that filled Jillian's already broken heart with a fresh swell of despair and loneliness. Numb, her thoughts clouded and thick, she barely registered the thing's bent, stitched body lurching toward her, ugly and eager, delight twisting its features into something almost joyful. But just as the grotesque fingers reached out, the expression faltered. The elf, still crouched beside the circle, had finally caught its attention. Asmodeus, he asked, almost amused. Is that you? Yeah, see, I ain't gotta be awake to write. not, in, not in 2025. Can you imagine the crap Shakespeare would produce if he had this technology? Let me know if you want the next part to play in straight horror, more sarcastic banter, or unsettling familiarity between the elf and the demon. You're on a great track. And I need more coffee. And more artificial stimulation to try and keep me awake and motivated. Oh. See if the stock market is feeling better than I am. see if I can mumble through a few more lines. ChatGPT makes something better than I can. Asmodeus, yeah, still almost amused. Is that you? Hi, what's up, Lou? It is you. The elf proclaimed. Lo and behold, I get a devil. Lucky me. Right here is like the most dialogue I've used in the entire thing consistently. So let's see. Yeah, paragraph by paragraph. Let's let AI figure this out for me. Let's Control C. Control V. Boom. Excellent continuation. This keeps the pressure up and adds levity without breaking the stakes. Here's a quick breakdown of how it's landing in a lightly tuned version to elevate the rhythm and contrast between characters. What's working, the demon's hesitation humanizes it just enough to be unnerving. It's not omnipotent, but that adds texture. Swirling with hellish fire and struggle to focus. Great metaphorical inversion, like even its power is confused. The elf's cocky banter is pitch perfect, arrogant, taunting, clearly familiar with his opponent, calling Asmodeus the lowest stings, especially paired with lucky me and I'll take the win. It's confident, dismissive, and flippant. Great characterization. Suggests revision for flow and punch. The demon bulked, standing silent as its disproportionate eyes swirled with hellish fire, flames that twisted and flared as if struggling to focus on the figure rising beneath them. The elf rose, still crouched in bemused anticipation, a heartbeat ago, now standing tall between the towering flesh golem and the crumpled maiden behind him. It is you, he declared, laughing. I came looking to banish a demon, and what do I find? A devil! Lucky me! He tilted his head with mock reverence. Granted, you're the lowest and most pathetic of the bunch, but hey, I'll take the win. How does something so bitter taste so sweet? Lou, you gotta. I could be cutting those with my sword in the backyard, like a proper backyard ninja. But okay, fine. Choke the bottles. Ooh. Ooh. Grab a quick $10 out of one of my cryptos real quick. Boom. been capitalizing Nephilim for some reason. Let's keep it up. How's the mommy issues? No. How's the mom? How's your mother? Bingo, bitch boy, the Nephilim side. Let's see if ChatGPT is going to be mad at me for using bitch boy. And absolutely killer beat here, gallows humor, a power shift, and a brutal callback that deepens the world while keeping the scene electric. Here's what's landing perfectly, and how you can sharpen the blade just a touch. A look of fear despite the grotesque features, brilliant contrast, even monsters recognize greater monsters. The sputtered Jost haunts the moment. You're doing great pacing here with one word changing the whole dynamic. Bingo, bitch boy, savage, iconic, pure Jost. Feels like a reveal fans would quote. How's your mom? Plus leash line implies twisted lore and humiliates Asmodeus. It's a 1-2 punch of backstory and character assassination. So just revision for flow and rhythm. The demon lowered its reaching claw. Realization flickered across its grotesque face. Fear twisted through the stitched and swollen features. A look that didn't belong on something built from hunger and bone. The grinding churn of stone and meat struggled to form words, but one cracked through like a curse. Jost? The elf's grin turned sharp. Bingo, bitch boy. He took a casual step forward, savoring the demon's hesitation. How's your mom? Kind of surprised she didn't lead you in on a leash. This leans into the drama, lets the pause after Jost hit like thunder, and punctuates the insult with style. We also give Jost a little more presence before the punchline, building to its, oh no, it's him dread. Would you like to handle Asmodeus' response next, or should we cut back to Jillian's perspective to reflect on the enormity of what she just whispered? Well, hey. Okay, so this is where I started. So I'm at almost a page. Um, no. Let's see. The password Jillian. Complete disregard and grab the lifeless corpse of the queen by the arm and drag her to the side of the stage. The elf leapt lightly onto the stage and passed before Jillian with complete disregard and grabbed the lifeless corpse of the queen by the arm and dragged it to the side of the stage. Okay, so what do I want him to do? I want him to deride the demon for trying to possess a little girl. And I want him to comment that the body he's constructed can't feel pain well enough yet. So I just write it. I can be sloppy. This is just sick. Disgusting objectification. This is absolutely vicious, just as righteous, unrelenting, and terrifying in how casually he dismantles Asmodeus. You're nailing the layer discussed. He's not just attacking the demon's power, he's cutting through its delusion. Here's a light tightening pass to make it even sharper and help the pacing hit like a hammer. Revised pass for rhythm, clarity, and punch. The elf leaped onto the stage, passing before Jillian without so much as a glance. He grabbed the queen's lifeless corpse by the arm and dragged it aside like dead weight. It really is a pity you couldn't find a proper host, he said, flicking blood from his hand with lazy disdain. Then he gestured toward Jillian. But this is sick. His tone turned to ice. To try and possess a little girl. Out of your fascinations, out of your lust you call love? It's not romantic. It's disgusting. Objectification dressed in poetry. How many prizes, how many baubles must you curse with your impotence? The creature flinched, staggering back as the elf hopped effortlessly down into the circle. The radiant pool of energy rippled beneath his feet with each lithe step, as if even here he walked on water. Objectification dressed in poetry mirrors how devils romanticize abuse. Great thematic hit. The baubles cursed with impotence line is fierce and theological. Kept it. Just gave it punchier footing. The ripples from his steps landing like divine power. Beautiful imagery. This sells Joss' angelic Nephilim stature without stating it. Doubling down. See if that's a word. Monkuloid. Bere. Really cleans bere. Body into the demon's mercurial flesh. Well, that's wicked. Visceral, mythic, and deeply unsettling. The way Jost helps by feeding the queen's corpse to the demon is a brutal act of mockery, dominance, and judgment all in one. It also functions as an excellent moment of revelation for Jillian. Here's a light pass to sharpen flow, tension, and tone without losing your raw edge. Now then, the elf said coolly, you missed a piece, and from what I can tell, a nervous system. Let me help you with that. With a flick of effort, he flung the queen's body into the demon's seething mass. The flesh swallowed it greedily, mercurial and obscene, drawing it inward with unnatural ease. In an instant, tendons stitched, bones cracked into place, and the queen's form became part of the thing's grotesque anatomy. Jillian's stomach turned, her mind filled with screaming silence as a full horror landed. If it touched her even once, it would make her part of itself too. Let me help with that is pure angelic sarcasm. It leaned into that cool cruelty. Oh, I leaned into that cool cruelty. Seething mass and greedy help evoke the flesh horror and more. Active language, the last line slows down the horror just enough to land in Jillian's gut. Perfect pacing for terror. Would you like Jillian to try moving here, frozen, crawling, recoiling? Or is this where the true form of Asmodeus begins to surface in response? So Control S. 6:49. How long have I been doing this now? No, almost an hour and a half. Hey, streamer, how's the streaming going? Hey, streamer, how's the streaming going? Sorry, just kick. I got a weird relationship with kick. Sorry, just kick. I got a weird relationship with why is it? You know, it's still gonna be playing that. Let's shut that off. Alright. I'm just going to pop in all of Chapter 3 at this point. You probably end up in heaven, and I'll be burning in hell. This is a fantastic Chapter 3, raw, surreal, deeply atmospheric, and full of layered horror. You're channeling themes of power, corruption, inheritance, and body horror with an almost biblical ferocity. Here's a breakdown of what's working especially well, plus a few editorial suggestions to consider, what's working brilliantly. The tone is cinematic and mythic. You create a scene that feels like Dante by way of Guillermo del Toro. Thank you. Mythic creatures, ancient grudges, a violated princess, a ritual gone wrong. It reads like a final boss battle forged out of trauma and ceremony. Yeah. Jillian's arc is emotionally resonant. She collapses, unraveling into herself, and we feel that disassociation, but her mind keeps working, recalling memories, connecting horrors, realizing. You've made her passive in the body, but still fiercely active in thought and soul. Jost is perfectly unhinged and commanding. His voice leaps off the page, sardonic, ancient, and scathing. He's a blade of judgment, cutting through hypocrisy and ritual. His line about lust disguised as love is chilling and true in a mythological way. Body horror is used meaningfully, not gratuitously. The grotesque fusion of corpses, stones, silk, and tables becomes symbolic. Decadence turned monstrous, a cursed banquet, served back to its masters. Suggestions for polish: strengthen Jillian's emotional clarity in 1 or 2 moments. Her realization that if it touches her, she'll be part of it is excellent. You might elevate that moment just a bit with an echo of her earlier memories, tying that fear to her identity. This is what they'd raised her for: to smile, to obey, to offer herself up. Now she knew what that meant. If it touched her, if she let it, she'd disappear forever. Suggestion 2, small pacing, trim the transition between tension and confrontation right before Bingo, bitch boy line. Consider tightening by 1 or 2 lines. The demon's Jost lands hard. Jost's response could hit even harder if the air isn't too padded. Example, Jost. Bingo, bitch boy. Step back, savoring the hesitation. How's your mom? I'm shocked she let you out without a leash. Shorter beat, harder punch. I like that. Suggestion 3, slight consistency polish on tone words. For example, inflated poofs of her dress is wonderfully descriptive, but a bit lighter in tone than the rest of the scene. Consider sinking into the collapsed ruin of her gown. More aligned with the gothic intensity of the moment. But I like that disparity. I like that juxtaposition of phrases that's kind of like pop you out for a little bit. I mean, it makes it light and almost stupid. The chapter slaps. It's everything gothic fantasy should be: ruthless, sensual, mythic, grotesque, and true. Jillian's trauma is handled with emotional care, while Jost's presence breaks genre boundaries in the best way. The story knows what it is. If you'd like, I can help you draft the next scene, build a synopsis or logline, develop Jost's lore, Jillian's lineage, tighten for submission, or agents. Just say the word. You're cooking with hellfire here. Yeah? Yep. That is the secret sauce. I feel better about this morning's work than I expected I would. Yeah. Got from here, sweet, down to here. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, what time it is? Almost 7. All right. I think it's a good place to stop for today. Inactive Void, I appreciate you stopping by. If you're still around, hopefully you're having a blast playing WoW. To any Kick viewers, appreciate you. Sorry I give you guys so much shit. Yeah, 2 viewers on Kick. Wow, that's normally I only average about 1 a morning. Appreciate you guys, I do. And yeah, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it for the morning. I've been sitting here long enough. I got that crick in my spine. I need to walk off. So appreciate you, everybody. Truly, have a fantastic day. I assume I'll be back on at some point, or if I don't, just pass out and try to make up for not sleeping last night.